Last night was the first Raw on Netflix, and it was mediocre. It was overwhelming in a way that I don't know, man. I think they put our expectations way too high. They overbuilt. They built the show up for about a year now. I think this deal came out about Raw on Netflix. I think it was about. It could even be. It could have been. It was either a lot of like. It was either like more than 6 months ago or a year. I'm not sure when they announced Raw on Netflix, but they've been building the show for practically a year. And it was a bit of a letdown, I gotta say. Now, the thing about it was, right, the reason it was a letdown because there was nothing unexpected on this whole show. Everything I predicted happened pretty much. Everything that I thought was gonna happen happened. Everything expected happened. Which this show, in my opinion, was for the new viewers, not for the viewers that are there week in, week out, like me and many others that were disappointed. I watch WWE every week. I watch Raw, I watch SmackDown, NXT. I sometimes watch. I always watch. I seem to watch I watch their pay-per-views a lot more than their weekly shows. But Raw and SmackDown, I always watch. The premium live events or pay-per-views, whatever you want to call them, I always watch them. So for a viewer who watches every single week, there was nothing really that was that new or groundbreaking on the show that I went like, oh my god, that was amazing. The best two things on this entire show for me was Roman Solo and Zeth Punk. Nothing was as good as those two matches, and The Rock's promo at the start into Roman Solo was incredible, and seeing Cena coming out and cut a little promo was pretty good. Like, I'm gonna try to be as positive as I can with the show. Like, I still really enjoyed the show. I still give it like a 7 out of 10. So I still really enjoyed the show, and I really thought it was still a blast watching. I still had fun watching it, but there was just moments where I was like, they could have done so much better with this. They could have done so much better with a few moments here. And this is a review, so I'm gonna be, I feel like the first half of the show was just brilliant with the curtain. And the way that they opened the show with the arena just looking absolutely incredible. I loved the thing with the curtain where they showed like for new reviewers was really cool. I'm not a new reviewer, man. I've been watching for like since 2018 now. So like, but just to see all the history of Raw was just really cool, man. I just thought it was sick. I've seen it before, but just I love those things when they throw into stuff like that. Like they show history of Raw in a big video package. I love them. I always found them very entertaining. So that was cool. And then the whole curtain thing. So that was good. And then they had Triple H come out and say, welcome to Monday Night Raw. That was cool. The arena looked sick. I liked the production of the arena. Then we went to the final boss. We went to The Rock. Sick entrance. I liked that. I thought that was cool. Then he had a good promo. He was too nice to Cody, in my opinion. So, like, The Rock was too nice to Cody, in my opinion. To me, like I said, The Rock was too nice to Cody, man. He said, the way he said you carried this company on your back and, I give you the respect, that was cool. But then the fact that he was backstage drinking tequila with him was a bit like, come on. Your best buds all of a sudden when you guys were in a hot feud last night, you made this guy bleed. You basically insulted him so many times. You insulted his mom. You went after his mother. You had a hot red feud last year. You wanted to take his WrestleMania main event away from him. And Cody's alright with this, and Rock is just so cool with this. It's just so, like, just breaking kayfabe a little too much, in my opinion. There was a moment when he said, you've been carrying this company on your back. I respect that. Like, I think that's fine. That's all they needed to do. Them drinking the tequila together was like, come on, you guys were in a hot red feud last year. They didn't need to do that. But hopefully this leads to a swerve and Rock's going to go after Cody. That's what I hope happens, because we need the final boss character back, We're all allowed for one night only, because it was cool enough. The atmosphere in the first half was just incredible, man. Like, The Rock into Roman Solo, incredible stuff. Then we got Solo versus Roman. I love Solo's entrance, and I love the way the thing he was wearing, like the little Samoan thing. Thought that was freaking cool, man. I just represented it with this Roman one here, but I thought he looked sick tonight, Solo. I thought he looked really cool. But yeah, his entrance was pretty sick, He always has a fire entrance, Solo. So yeah. But the team Tribal Chief had to go down, and I did say he was only winning with the help of The Rock, and that did not happen, so. Cool entrance, though. Then I don't really have too many setups for the match, because the match was pretty fun. It was a good match. The ending really is where I picked up the most. You got the most exciting stuff towards the end when we had like Jacob Fatu and Tonga Loa come out, try to run the match, try to get Solo to try and get Solo the victory. And then we got Sammy and Jimmy, who basically just chased them out of the arena. Like, this was just a fun part of the match. Yeah, I know they're both attacking Jimmy Usos, but I just had to use some figures. So, yeah, this was a fun part of the match when we got the Sammy, Jimmy Uso, and Jacob Fatu and Tonga Loa brawl. That was like a fun part of the match. I liked that. This was all pretty cool. You know, there were some cool spots with tables and different things. And then this is the point when I thought that, is Roman losing? When the Kevin Owens came out, not Cody Owens, Kevin Owens came out, I was like, oh shit, Roman could have, sorry for my language, Roman could be losing. Kevin Owens might actually give Solo the win because Solo got a pin on him with a spike on Roman, and was it a spike he hit? Yeah, Kevin Owens took out Roman, and then I think Solo hit a spike, and then it was so close, and Roman almost wins, but then we finally hear Cody Rhodes' music, and I was so glad to hear it. Cody comes out, attacks Kevin Owens. That was sick. I loved this moment. Roman hits a spear and wins. He is the OTC, the only tribal chief, the original tribal chief. Roman Reigns wins the match. Then we get this great moment between Roman and The Rock, where The Rock comes out and wants to put the Ula Falas on Roman, and Paul lets him. I loved this moment, man, when The Rock put the Ula Falas on Roman and acknowledged him. That was just sick. And then we had Roman and Paul throwing up the ones and The Rock in the background. Over in the corner over there, he was just standing in the corner over there. I was thinking, is he going to attack him? They were, they had their minds thinking, but he didn't. Please, WWE, give me The Rock versus Roman for the Ula Fala at WWE at WrestleMania, or give me The Rock versus Cody at WrestleMania. I'll take either one of these matches. I'll be hyped for either one of these matches. If they go with Rock versus Cody at Mania, it should be Roman Drew at Mania. That's what they should do. But yeah, moving on to the next match. This was incredible. All good stuff. All good stuff here. Yeah, definitely. Roman's the OTC. He's the one. Before we do mention John Cena, I just want to mention one thing. They changed the referee shirt. I wasn't the biggest fan of this. It was a bit too dark, it was too grey. And if they want to change the shirts, that's cool. But I mean, they should have just kept it with the classics, I don't know if this is the referee shirt going on to the future, but I don't know. They should have maybe just kept it the way it was. Then they kept the energy up with Cena coming out and cutting his promo, telling us his plans for 2025, saying he's going to enter the Royal Rumble, go on to win it, and face Cody or Gunther at WrestleMania. And then he's going to be in the Elimination Chamber as well, and Money in the Bank. So if he's going to compete in all three of them, I don't know if I see him winning the Rumble, but I'd love to see Cena compete in every single one of them because, this is going to be his last year, so we've got to see Cena compete in all three, which would be cool. I don't know, this moment was just pretty cool to see Cena back and just to see him have a promo and tell us what he's going to do for his year. I would like to see him wrestle instead of Jay versus Drew. Like, if they're going to do another match, Cena versus a mystery opponent, that would have been 10 times better. But I don't know if he'll be on the show next week. He hasn't been advertised, so I don't think he's going to be on the show next week. But yeah, this was cool. I don't know if I want to see him win the Rumble. It's either him, Punk, or The Rock. They're kind of be my favorite three to win it right now. Drew as well, and then maybe put Seth, but I probably wouldn't put Seth because Seth had a good year, so it depends on what they want to do at Mania. But yeah, Cena's saying he's going to enter the Rumble. Who knows how it will go. Pretty sure the next match was Rhea Liv. We did have interviews backstage as well. I will talk about two of the interviews we had backstage. But anyways, we had Rhea Liv. Rhea wins. It was a good match, It was just expected. Finally, Rhea gets the win and the storyline is over. Hopefully the storyline is over. Rhea gets the W here. Not a bad match. Nothing much more to say about this match other than the ending. What happened at the very end. I'd say that Liv is kind of done with the whole Judgment Day now. I'd say that that's kind of done, is it? Dominic did get taken out as well with a riptide. Gotta mention that. Liv is probably done with the Judgment Day. I'm guessing they're gonna kick her out, and then basically it's just gonna be Finn, JD, Carlito, and Dominic from now on. I'd say that's what's gonna happen, and Dominic will get a new girlfriend. Basically, just gonna keep happening, I guess. Then at the end of this match, we got Rhea was just walking out celebrating. We hear a dong, and Undertaker rides out on his motorbike, and basically they just have a cool moment where they lift up their hand, they lift up their fist. That's about it. It was cool. Didn't really do a whole lot though. They could have still. I hear that Becky Lynch was meant to come back, but then they gave it to the Undertaker. They could have done the Undertaker comes out, Undertaker rides away on his bike, and then Becky comes out. That would have been even better. I don't know why they didn't just do this. I mean, it's the first Raw on Netflix. Come on, they could have given us a return that was better than I don't know. They could have gave us a better return than the Undertaker. The Undertaker's still cool, but it doesn't do a whole lot for the future of Rhea Ripley's title reign. At least if we got Becky Lynch, maybe it could be her next opponent. I know she's already had a match with Becky Lynch, but or maybe she's Gonna face Becky and Liv at Mania, or maybe it's set up for something with her and Becky at Royal Rumble or something. It doesn't have to be Mania, but I don't know. Just wasn't the greatest. This was okay. Kind of forgettable. I mean, in a few months, will anybody really be talking about this? Probably not. While we are over here, I may as well just mention this. I don't know if this is the exact order, but it was like Hogan came out and it was like Jay and Drew next. I'm not sure which one happened first. Was it Jay and Drew match first, or and then Hogan, or was it Hogan and then the Jay Drew match? I'm not 100% sure, but we might as well just talk about it because it's set up over here instead of going back and forward. But anyways, Hogan comes out, cuts a promo, basically just saying it's a new era, promoting his real American beer, and that's about it. And he gets booed. Mainly probably because they're in LA and LA voted for Kamala. But Kamala Harris won in LA, and just what's it? Hulk Hogan is a Trump supporter, so But yeah, like I was saying, Hogan mainly got booed because of the whole thing where, Kamala Harris got more votes in LA. LA supports her, not Trump, I guess. Yeah, pretty much. And he's a Trump supporter. And also there's some other reason which I'm not going to go into, but yeah, in the past. If you want to know exactly, I'm not going to say exactly if you want to know the whole reason, look it up. Pretty much, yeah. But yeah, I did feel a little bit sorry for Hulk because, come on, he did make wrestling what it is today. The New Day got way too much airtime on this show, man. They were shown like 3 times, 4 times almost, like 2 or 3 times during the show, or twice, and then they were shown like again on the post show, like twice again. So I think they got like 4 times air show on Raw Netflix. On the actual show, they got shown twice, and then on the post show they got shown twice as well. Like, what the hell? What was with the airtime for the New Day, man? I'm sick of it. I was sick of this. They're very annoying heels. They're not doing anything great. They're just slating the crowd. They just like slagged off the crowd. They said Drake won the beef and Kendrick you support this bad artist Kendrick Lamar. They're just speaking a bunch of crap, man. Well, yeah, everyone knows Kendrick won the beef, man. Moving on. This was just okay. Just all right. Big E responded on the post show and said, I haven't seen these guys do anything. I haven't seen them win a title in ages and years. They're not the guys I used to know. So yeah, Big E stuck up for himself and said they're not the guys I used to know, that they didn't win any titles, that they haven't accomplished anything, which is true. They haven't accomplished anything. He said they're just moaning little B words. So yeah, pretty true. They advertised Logan Paul for the show, and he did absolutely nothing. I have no clue why they advertised Logan Paul when they literally gave him a little video package and he sat in the crowd, and like that's it. And they had so many celebrities and WWE superstars sit in the crowd. So I don't know why advertise someone and then don't even show them on the show. Like, don't even give them a promo or a segment. Pretty stupid, man. But I would have been up for Logan to do something. Jey Uso, Drew McIntyre is the next match to talk about. Travis Scott comes out to Fiend while smoking a blunt, and then he's having an entrance with Jey Uso while smoking a blunt, and it's going everywhere in the crowd, and there's like kids around, and this was just so funny. This is being so talked about online, man, that Travis Scott came out with Jey Uso while smoking, and then they're all just celebrating on the table. Pat, Jay, and Travis Scott, they're all just dancing on the table doing the yeet. This was such a cool moment. I love Jay's entrance, but the match was just very just mediocre. It was something we've seen a ton of times. It was not very good. But also, this is just a custom Travis Scott I made with R-Truth. But of course, there's no figures of him by Mattel. But you can get figures of Travis Scott, but not by Mattel. But anyways, yeah, I did make a little custom. I was going to say R-Truth Travis Scott figure. But this was a cool moment. It was pretty funny as well, because it's just everywhere online that Travis Scott was smoking on live on television. That was funny on Netflix. Cool entrance, though. Jey Uso wins an okay match. I don't know. They said this is going to be a big year for Drew. So it's Jay, not really, but they said it's going to be a big year for Drew, and they make him lose on the biggest stage of them all, on the biggest show. They make him lose on the Raw Netflix show, the first show, which was a big show of the year, arguably the second biggest show of the year behind WrestleMania, kind of, for like weekly television. It's the biggest show of the year, for like Raw and SmackDown. But yeah, it's one of the biggest shows of the year, and he loses to Jey Uso. I love Jey, I love Drew, so I'm not that mad. So hopefully Drew wins and is a rematch. This feud's gonna continue. I don't know why though. It's a bit stupid. Karrion Kross mentions the Wyatt Six, and Miz basically said he doesn't want anything to do with the Wyatts or Karrion anymore. No, White 6 was disappointing on the show. Moving on, though. Hopefully they're on the show next week. But this was disappointing that we didn't get any White's Final Testament. We seen Roman and Paul are seen backstage. Paul asked, when can I book you in for your next appearance in your schedule? He says the 27th of January. I don't know if it's going to be his next appearance or if it's going to be the cover for 2K 2025. Either one, or it could be both. Who knows? But this is pretty cool. I mean, we don't need a 2K game as well every single year. Every 2 years would be so much better. Zet Punk was a solid match with Seth Rollins hitting the GTS on CM Punk. And CM Punk hitting a stomp on Seth Rollins. This was a banger of a match. Solid match, in my opinion. CM Punk wins the match. CM Punk wins the match and they end the show. Overall, this show wasn't a bad show. I'm going to give this show a 7 out of 10. Thank you a lot for watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to My Fun Figures. My Fun Figures out.